back on the deck today. This is probably our, well, 5th day of working on it. We've just got the last tyre of the octagon packed, so we just did these two here this morning. They're ready to get some wood put on top. We've got the frame on top. We did these 4 the other day, and we got that piece of wood and these 2 pieces of wood put out. I did that one the other night, which was in the previous video with that plank. We've just done this tyre here, so we're gonna get some plastic on top of that, and we'll go down and root out another 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of roughly 2 metre wood. And we've got a stack over there, which is all of our 3 metre wood that's going to do the entire perimeter, and 1 piece that's going to go up the middle, and then we'll come off of that with loads of other supports, because this is our, you know, where the bulk of the load will be. It's getting there, so hopefully I've got my dad here to help for, it's Monday today, he's here till Thursday morning, so 3 days of that, which is going to be good. We should be able to get the rest of the wood done here hopefully today, in terms of getting these main beams on. Tomorrow we'll get all these little cross beams on, and then Wednesday we'll get the deck down, which we've got a stack of plywood waiting for us down at the bottom of the hill. And yeah, not far off, and then we at least that main deck will be done. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 and a 4th tyre on the other side of that pile of wood there, which will be the supports for our bathroom and entranceway. But that's not as urgent as getting the yurt up. I can come back and sort that out once this deck's done. The deck's the priority, so there'll be a separate bit of decking on there. I'm going to try and make it in such a way that between these two here is the kind of join. If we can make it so that this is standalone and that's standalone, and they're bolted together, and then if we ever have to, we can unbolt them, get some kind of crane up here and lift that toilet block away. If once we're done with it, maybe we can sell it, or if we need to move it somewhere else on the land. So we're starting to get the floor down now. Try and get all 5 of the squares done today if we're lucky. And we just get cracking on those triangles. Got the saw set up in the shade. Generator way over there, so it's not too loud, although you can probably hear it quite loudly. A solar panel in the distance there, we got that set up earlier on just to get it out of the shed really, but it's all ready to go. Just to pick up a battery in the week. Everything else is already over there and ready to go. Yeah, and a gazebo for a bonus shade. So we've been hard at it all day, and we've got a lot done. It's all covered up now. Yeah, we're more than halfway there in terms of the big section of the squares. We've got that big section done, the biggest section in the middle is done, and that back section is done. We just need to fill in that gap with some of the stuff we cut off the end there. So there's only 1, 2 more squares to go, and then the 4 triangles, and the triangles themselves aren't that bad, they're not too hard. We're just going to come off the end here straight onto the tyre, and then a few little sideways supports in each direction, bang a sheet on top, cut along the line, and then use that triangle hopefully to fill most of the next one in. Obviously we were going to do this with planks originally, so we didn't measure it out for plywood boards. Had we known we were going to do this from the start, we would have rejigged things a bit so that the structure was the right size for the boards. We didn't know that, but next time I won't do it again. No way I'm doing this again. This is probably our 5th full day on, well, my 5th full day on it. I've had various friends and my dad helping me throughout, and it's still got a good few days left. So the plan is to come back Saturday and get this square done, and those 2 back triangles, that's my goal, and that little slither there, which will just leave the front, which is still a huge amount. I've only got a week left then to actually get this all done, so I'm going to have to come back probably on Sunday, try and get this square done, but I've got a lot of other work to do in terms of earning money, so I can't spend the whole weekend here. Next week I've got to go and collect the yurt on Monday from Oxford. I'm in Cornwall, I've got to drive to Oxford, and then I've got to drive to Bath for 2 days for work, so I've only got 2 days here next week before the yurt goes up on the Sunday, so it's cutting it bloody close. Anyway, it's time to call it a day. It's been 3 days of 26, 27, 28 degree heat, which is better than rain, but it's been an absolute killer. We're just so dehydrated. can't eat, it's too hot to eat. So we're just getting cold water down us when our lovely neighbour brings it up. And yeah, that's it. Another 12-hour day. Done. I guess we should have made it slightly sloping outwards because we got standing water on here. You can see that in the camera. So my first plan today was going to be trimming that edge off, filling this gap in with the offcuts. Instead, the plan is now try and work out the central point of these boards and just drill some relief holes so that if this does happen when the yurt's on top, the water can at least soak away somewhere and not just sit under the yurt and stink the place out. So the plan is to drill some relief holes in the middle here so that if this, as it will obviously happen when we're in the yurt, because this is the first bit of rain and it's not even been bad rain, we need this to soak away. So drill some relief holes around the edge and a few in the middle, just a little 1 centimetre bit. Hopefully that will let things drain away. And then as soon as that's done, I'm going to get cracking, getting the beams in all along here, all along there. I'm probably going to try and work my way around and do the triangles as well so that all the beams are in, and then start at this end, get this triangle blocked in, get that bit there blocked in, get the triangle I'm standing in blocked in, and then get this one blocked in, because then that's a big span of it done, and I can then get some damp proof membrane down, which is at least going to protect this for the rest of the week. So that's my goal for this weekend really, but if I can get it done today, put in a very late day. It's now about 1 PM ish, so if I beast this until 10 o'clock when the sun goes completely away. Solar panel in the background there, doing not a lot today, mostly because it's not wired up, but the rest of the time because there's a cloud in the sky. Okay, so this time round, rather than kind of doing one section and then getting, well, cutting the boards and then doing the next section and taking it a step at a time, and we were even doing one board's worth at a time, because a couple of days ago in the heat it was so monotonous trying to get this done. But now that it's basically cooled off a hell of a lot and it's wet, it's a lot easier to work, so I'm just going for it. And I started out, measured every foot, so we've got 12-inch centers on here, just because this is the entrance to the yurt is going to be there, so this is going to be the heaviest footfall section. So you know, I wanted it good and strong. It's a little bit less over here. I think there's only 6 pieces spanning that, whereas there's going to be 9 pieces spanning here. But over there we're going to have the fire in the corner there, and then there's not really a lot of chest of drawers and stuff, but not a lot of footfall, so it doesn't matter so much there. Over here there's going to be 8 just because of the way the beams lie. We don't need the 9th one, but we'll keep that quite dense, just because we're going to have the baby stuff over there, another bigger chest of drawers over there, and our bed's going to be over the back here, so there's actually 9 along the back as well. So this sort of midsection is really strong, slightly less on the sides. The very back there, because of the way the yurt's going to sit quite forwards, that's actually not really any weight on the back. But what I've just found after cutting all of these, and I've got a stack here which are cut to fit that section, was a few days ago in the heat we were having to notch out these bigger timbers because we're using wood we've already got. We started out with a lot of 6-inch timbers, and because Steve, if you're watching, you made me change it to an octagon instead of a hexagon. Not, I'm only joking, it was a good idea. But we didn't have enough 6-inch pieces to do all the way around, so we had to notch out some of these 7, 8, 9-inch timbers to fit. Well, in the heat of the day, we'd already notched these, as you can see, but it was getting on and we just couldn't handle the thought of another one, so we made this one slightly longer and bolted the wood on the end, which was partly to save us notching it out, partly to give it a bit more depth so that there's less of a gap to fill in later, and also it hides the tires more on the front. There were lots of good reasons to do it. The bad reason to do it is that the wood we'd already bought before we made that decision and cut in half at the lumberyard so we could fit it in the van doesn't span this gap there to there. So our options are to add another beam from here to the tyre on the 2 metre mark, and then beams all along there, and then do a few little supports along here. But what I'm going to do is just do what we should have done in the first place, unscrew these 2 ends, cut whatever it is 20 centimetres off each of those there and there, and bring this beam back in so it's actually equilateral all the way around rather than being all over the place. And on the upside, it'll save us pretty much a sheet of plywood when you add all that together as well, or half a sheet anyway. But it's a bit of a faff and something I didn't think I was going to have to do. But I'm going to do that now, get that done, jump back across, get all these screwed in place, nailed in place even, and then bring these over, get all those nailed in place, and then we are good to start putting the little cross pieces in all the way through and all the way through there. So I'm hoping in about 2 hours time both these sections will be done. I don't know what time it is now, but I'll find out and I'll let you know if I manage to do it. Right, well, got the beams in on both. That's much quicker than expected. It's 3:30. I started putting these in at 2:45, so that's not taking long at all. I've got some battens just along the edge there as well, so these are resting on that, not just on the nails. And that's nailed through there, and those are extra long nails going through there into the battens on the other side, so it's pretty strong. I can walk around on it as it is. I just need to go and find some wood to do some battens under here, which I can just feed straight under the deck, so it's not an issue that I have to add it afterwards. It's easier in fact, because everything's so slightly out. If you try and put the batten on first and the batten's slightly, you know, a millimetre up, you end up with little high points and low points. So I prefer to do it like this and then grip the batten up and nail it into place so that the batten's tight underneath everything. So I'm going to go down now, grab some wood, do the battens there, and then go around again with a pen and measure every other gap, and then do battens for those, not, you know, little cross bits like these little bits here. Anyway, and yeah, should be done pretty soon. It's 5 o'clock now. I've got these 2 triangles blocked in, as well as the 2 remaining squares. It's looking awesome now. I'm going to just do that triangle there and this triangle here, same as I've done here. I then need to put battens under the beams on all the triangles, and then I need to go through and do all the cross bits. So 5 o'clock, I reckon. Those 2, if I go at it, I can get them 2 done by 6. Get the battens under all of them by 6:30, and then by 8 or 9 o'clock I could get all these little cross bits in, which means all I've got to do is come back and get the skin on, which I can definitely do by next Sunday. So I'm a bit happier now. It was a bit close to the mark there. Trying to get all this done in time, but I think we're going to be all right. Okay, so it's now 7 p.m. I was hoping I'd get all of these bits done and dusted, including that triangle over there and this end, by 9. I think I said 9. Well, rewind back and find out. But I changed plans slightly. I'm going to focus on the back half basically, because I can use whole sheets here, so I can really quickly block out a whole section. This is 1 sheet from there to there. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 feet. These are on 12-inch centers ish. And then I can use a little offcut that I've got over there just to fill that triangle in. Same again there, 1 whole sheet and then a little offcut. The bit I slice off the end there will fill in this hole. So if I do that, I actually have some sense of achievement by the end of the day, that from here back the whole thing will be done. And also these are all slightly off. We had a bit of an issue yesterday with that beam over there being too long. Not yesterday, a few days ago now. That's basically knocked everything out of square, which is, you know, fucking nightmare. So at this point here, I'm bringing it back into square, so I'm going to end up with a little slither missing, and I'm going to come straight along this beam here with the next sheet and come out. This is all going to be nice and square. You can see as I go up from here how out of square it is, wildly out of square. Combination of reasons, basically the original square not being perfectly square. But from here on we can then level this out, and then with the offcuts I'll come in and just glue and fill some plywood into those gaps. It should be absolutely fine. It's on top of a beam anyway, so it'll be nice and solid. And then I'll come back tomorrow and just fill this one in. I didn't want to do these yet because if I can't quite get it square, then these all won't line up properly, and then I'll have to take them out and do them again. So I'm going to leave this completely until I've blocked everything else in, then I'll know exactly where it needs to go. But at the end of today, I'm hoping that whole back section will be done, and I will have a crack at that in 2 hours and let you know. Okay, it's about 8:30. I'm calling it a day. because I only have 5 deck screws left, so there's not much point in carrying on. But I've got those boards down. That looks like it's uneven. Well, it's a gap, so it's worse than uneven really. We're all the way out the side, we're all the way to the other end. Triangle's done, filled in half of this hole. Haven't trimmed these bits off yet, still got this triangle to go, but I've got all the timber in place and I still have to trim the end over there. So, oh, good God, lower back pain. So, not quite there. I'll go and stand on the plywood pile so you can see. Okay, so I still need to trim this bit here. Still need to fill in that hole, which I can fill in with this bit there. That hole was filled in with this offcut, so I know it will fit. I'll do the other triangle at the back. Got to trim the edges, trim. But more importantly, there's almost a deck there to put a yurt on in a week's time. So the key things aren't really, well, trim that so I can fill the hole in over there. Standing on a big pile of plywood, there's plenty to fill out that triangle. That's one sheet basically. Another sheet there, another sheet here, another one there. So another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sheets should do it. I've way over ordered. Not sure what was going on. I think I meant to order something else. Absolutely shitloads, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 spare sheets at 20 odd quid a sheet. Is not ideal. But we still have to build the bathroom, which is obviously going to have, well, that's about 5 sheets on the floor of that. And I may as well use the rest for the ceiling, the roof and the walls, I guess, and it'll all get used. I could do with some thinner stuff for the walls really, but whatever. But it's getting there. I will tidy it up when we're done as well. Go around it with the plane just to get rid of all these rough edges. But otherwise, not a bad day. So I'm back at the field. It's been tipping it down with rain for a few days. The last time I was here, well, I was here at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning, dropping the yurt off, which is down the bottom in the barn. There, God, it's impossible backwards. Can't do it. Dropping the yurt off from the van. I had to drive to Oxford from mid Cornwall yesterday and back in the traffic and all the Glastonbury fallout as they were all going home, so it took about 12 hours to do that, and it was too dark when I got back, and there's no way I could back the van into the yard or up onto the field in the dark because it's pitch black here at night. Absolutely no light whatsoever, so I had to leave that till this morning and do it before I took the van back. So I was hoping to come back today and get the rest of the wood down. As you can see, I did not achieve that goal. That little bit there it's just temporary. I did patch up this little section here. That's the only bit I actually managed to get down. But I was able to cut, where are they? Cut all of those bits there and all the cross joists and put the supports in. So the entire subframe is completely done now, finally. It's just too wet to get anything else down. It's just been drizzling. It's not hot like bad rain, but it just makes it really hard to get anything done, and you can't really use the power tools in it that much. So yeah, I was thinking of getting some more wood or the plywood down now, but it's just going to get rained on. It's in a pile here getting slightly rained on, but I'd rather it wasn't there getting rained on. At least I can drop those sheets on and paint them straight away because they'll be dry. But I've got to do that back triangle, where is it? There, do that back triangle and obviously do all of that and paint the entire thing by Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be away for most of the week, so it's going to be a long night Friday, I think, and a very early morning Saturday, and hopefully it won't rain, otherwise I can't do it. I'll keep you posted. And I'll stop looking at myself and start looking at the camera. Okay, it's Saturday. We're putting the yurt up tomorrow. We've been rained off all week since the last little clip I did, which was on Tuesday. I just got here, the place was absolutely destroyed from the wind and rain, so I've just been putting everything back together, and now I'm going to get this shit finished. So the plank that's there, I've just put down, it's not screwed down yet. I'm just going to get on it. I wish I brought more battery power because I've only got about 30%, and I could have done a time lapse, but I'll just fill you in between. So first step, get boards down on the whole of the rest of it. Okay, I've got some help here now. Shanika's getting some paint down. Still got the last triangle to do here. Got a little L shape there. I'm just filling in this gap. And then I'll be painting as well. This stuff's drying out really nicely. It was absolutely soaked this morning, but luckily the sun is finally breaking through now and then. So yeah, full push now. We've got another, baby's asleep with her Omar. So we've got about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours. So we're gonna go for it. It's really getting there now. Just got to do, well, you can see all the grey that's gone down, which is, if we look at it close up, it's really nice. It's semi-transparent, so you can see the grain of the ply through it. Most of it's going to be under the yurt, but it'll you know, the bits we do see around the edges will be nice. Going to come around and paint all the edges when we're done as well. Just about to cut this bit of wood here to fill this gap, and then this bit here I'm going to notch out so that slots in, and then we just got another board to go there. So we're really close now, and the paint's going down really quick. We're still in our first tin. We've got that much done, so it probably only take 2 or 3 tins, so that's good. Shanika's just having a little lower back rest there. She's painted herself all the way over there. We can see it's almost done. This board's down, but my batteries are super low, so I'm not going to trim this off yet. I'll wait until I've got this screwed in, use the electric saw as much as I can, finish it off with the hand saw just to get it done. So one more board, which will take us up to there, and a tiny little triangle on the end, which will be the offcut up there from the triangle we're cutting out of this. So bloody close. And then keep painting that, keep painting this, get some paint all the way around the edge, get it nice and sealed, and then we're ready for tomorrow. But we still want to build another picnic table, cut all this grass back, so we've got another hour or 2 ahead of us, but the end is in sight. Wave, Shanika. There we go. Happy Shanika.